What's going on, everyone? I'm here with the first official Fight His Life rant, as I like to call it. More than a rant, really, it's just I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed at the narrative that I have been seeing just posted all over the internet towards this fight. And especially ESPN, which we know is the mothership of all sports media. There's no denying that they're really a pioneer when it comes to sports media. They started it all. But just going online looking for content to read, just like everybody else, I'm sure is hungry for content for this amazing spectacle that's going to go down on the 26th. I just haven't seen any positivity coming from the network. All I've been seeing is negative articles, negative statements, and some of them just plain ignorant. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. The first article that I'm going to discuss is by the Undefeated. This is an ESPN affiliate. And right from the headline, for lack of better word, this is a completely nonsense headline. This is plain ignorance. Mayweather and McGregor couldn't sell a fight, so they sold hate. They can't sell a fight. They can't sell a fight, yet they're going to have the biggest fight ever. They can't sell a fight that was sold before it was even made. That was sold as soon as rumors started. People bought that shit up. Excuse my language. Fights like Mayweather Pacquiao and Mayweather McGregor do not need to be sold. They are sold when they are conceived. And yet you have to do these press tours and these promotions because that's part of the business. And if you can add a little bit of more money for everyone by doing these 4 press tours in a week or so, why not? But let's say Mayweather and McGregor sat silent. You think this wouldn't be the biggest fight in history if they had no press tour? Of course it would be. It still would be. The intrigue is already there. The spectacle they put on is just part of promoting something, just like promoting a movie. It's just to let the casual fan know. But even the semi-casual fan will know about this fight already. So one of the worst headlines I've ever read, Mike Wise, who's a senior editor, very irresponsible of him to almost, come up with this sort of an article. Look at this. But when no one with an ounce of sense about competitive sports took the bait, they went from selling pay-per-view buys straight to the gutter, and they took all of us along with them. Um, so basically, Mike is trying to say this is not a competitive fight, which I've been listening to everywhere. Every single media outlet has said that. Somebody or other has said that. It's not going to be a competitive fight. Well, let me tell you something that's very intriguing about the fight game. Everybody has a puncher's chance. When there are fists flying and you're confined in a space in the squared circle or in the octagon, and there are punches flying and fists flying coming at your face, oh, you bet the other guy has a chance. You better believe the other guy has a chance. Mr. Mike Wise, if you think I would love you to pick up an inferior fighter that you believe is so inferior to you, they would have no chance, and then get in the ring with them and then tell me whether they have a chance or not when they come attacking you, especially someone who is Conor McGregor, who has power in his hands, who does practice the art of fighting. It may not be boxing, but he's in the fight game. Sure, he's going up against a master, a true genius, a true defensive maestro. But to say, and all these people saying that Conor has no chance is just not true. And one of the intrigues of boxing has always been that the reason why some people get away with easier fights is because there's always that intrigue of the puncher's chance. So believe me, Conor definitely has a chance. And look, you're talking about competitiveness. Were the NBA playoffs competitive? But did people come out to watch it? Why? Because it's a show. It's entertainment. It's a spectacle. And that's exactly what this fight is. It's entertainment. It's going to be a great spectacle. And you better believe people will come and watch it. People will watch it in every way they can. Sports is about competition at the highest level, but at times it's just about being entertained. And you will be entertained. So yeah, I mean, further going further into this article, same stuff, the racist dance for me boy comment. So when Conor McGregor said this dance for me boy, I was talking to a friend and I immediately told him, I said, the thing I noticed about that comment was what he said immediately after, which no one is talking about. As soon as he said dance for me boy, he followed it up with dance for me sir. I think Connor's intelligent enough to realize that this could be blown up into something that it's not. That this could give me sort of a racist connotation that people could run with this. Especially at a time like this in the summer when the NBA season is over, the NFL people are still 2 to 3 weeks away from really getting into college football or NFL. The Wimbledon's over. Not that anybody's watching it. I am, but not everybody watches the Wimbledon. I love watching tennis or all sports for that matter. I love sports. Yeah, there's some golf. The British Open just happened. But really, this is a dull time for sports media, and they need anything they can get their hands on to make a story out of it. So I think Conor, when he said dance for me, boy, even in that instant, he realized, you know what? I better follow that up with something else. And he followed up with dance for me, sir. Now, boy to sir, I don't have to give you the difference between those two terms. A boy, yes, I know it has had racial sort of connotations in the past, but sir, and I think Conor only did that because he knew this could blow up. And let's actually listen to it because nobody's talking about it. So let's talk about it. And we already talked about it, but let's listen to it. And you tell me what you think. Whether Conor realized that he had made a mistake by mentioning boy and tried to fix it immediately. Dance for me, boy. Dance for me, son. Dance for me. You heard it there. He followed up with dance for me, sir. Do I believe Conor's racist? I don't know him as a person, but I don't think so. But neither do these writers. But again, they need something to write about. It's slow times, man. For sports media, it's slow summer. That there's this summer though every year, and they need to write about something. So we continue on, and it just goes on to say, they were up there like two comedians. Um, Floyd's domestic violence against women never came up once. So they're supposed to go up there to promote a fight and then talk about why one of the fighters involved is, that's supposed to talk about his legal past. They're supposed to talk about the mistakes he's made in life. Are they promoting him or are they demoting him? Which one is it? Why would they talk about that up on this stage, on this platform? It's completely ignorant to talk about that. And I'm not saying the media shouldn't talk about it. Of course they should. That's their prerogative. But Floyd's Mayweather Promotions is not going to bring it up. And I think the UFC is smart enough also not to alienate the female base, which could potentially watch this fight because it's a popular fight. I think Dana and Connor and everyone involved is smart enough not to do that. So does that shock me? No. Like you said, sir, shocker? No. Apparently that doesn't sell. Yeah, of course it doesn't sell. But again, this fight is sold, man. People will be watching this fight. This is Pacquiao, Mayweather. There will be private jets up the wazoo at Las Vegas airport. Anybody who is somebody will be at this fight from anywhere in the world. Believe that. So let's go on to the next article I'm going to talk about, and I've highlighted here. This is a Newsweek article, but they're quoting an ESPN analyst, Dominique Foxworth. And Mr. Foxworth goes to say that I think Floyd has made a lot of money by playing up or playing into the historic black trope of the black brute. He played that up, and people hate that and get angry, and they want to see him put in his place. That's one opinion. You know what my opinion is? You know why I think people get angry at Floyd? Because I think Floyd, at every step of the way, reminds them of how much better he is than them by throwing money in their faces, by showing arrogance, and all the subtle arrogance at this point. Because it's not Pretty Boy anymore, it's Floyd Money Mayweather. But there's still that subtle hint of arrogance, and people want to see him lose because he's won the game of life. And the society we live in at times, when somebody's doing better and somebody's winning, instead of getting inspired by it, you want to drag them down. And then there's other reasons why people might want to see Floyd lose. Personally, I love Pacquiao. I love Marquez. And the way he dominated those two great fighters, it makes me a little angry. But that doesn't mean Floyd's not special. He's a master. So he's made a lot of money because he's blessed. He's blessed with his skill that no one has been able to match in this generation. That's why he's made money. Floyd might have, and his team might have brought a race here and there, but it's never been their main objective. That's not the way they made their money. They made their money by promoting him as this money figure, the TMT, and the pretty boy who talks smack and who's arrogant. People love to hate him, and people want to see him lose because he's disrespecting, that golden boy, Oscar De La Hoya, that golden boy image, the someone that people love. And he's disrespecting him and he's talking smack about him. But let's not forget, if Floyd has had his legal battles or his demons, so has Oscar, the golden boy. So has everyone else. So have I. So have every single person has their demons. So yeah, getting back to this article, let's not talk about why he made his money because of the race card. He made his money because he's blessed with a skill that no one has been able to match, as I just said. This article even continues on to talk about Dominic Foxworth's quotes, and so he says, okay, Floyd's playing the black part in this, and then a lot of poor white citizens are looking at Conor as like their Trump. He compares Conor McGregor to Donald Trump. I mean, what do I say to that? I'm almost speechless. What kind of comparison is this? Um, I tell you what, I know a lot of people, black, white, Mexican, Indian, you name it, Asian, that want to see Floyd lose just because it's the intrigue, man. He's undefeated. Who's going to do it? Who's going to be the one? When is it finally going to be that time where Father Time catches up with him and where he slows down a step, and a young warrior like Conor McGregor, a strong puncher, could be that guy? So going back to the previous article, yeah, that's why the fight is sold. And no, Floyd did not make his money because he's always played the racial card. He's made his money because he's the best defensive fighter of all time, maybe. Definitely of this generation. Definitely of the ones I've seen. Now we look into this next article. It's on ESPNW by Sarah Spain. And, it's just, again, it goes into the race thing, into how hyper masculine aggression by both fighters was being displayed. The dance for me boy comment here again. Um, we ignore Mayweather's criminal past and his tax evading present because we're enamored of his car collection and the stacks of money piled up in his Instagram posts. Um, again, just spewing almost negativity and um, hatred towards um, towards this fight. Do we want to validate barbarism? Are these kind of people deserving of our attention, admiration, and time? She even talks. She even compares them to the "Cash Me Outside." How about that girl on Dr. Phil right here? I mean, again, like I said, just a narrative that's full of negativity. But this article here, um, there's another article by Miss Spain that I'm going to look up right now. Pull this one up. This article here. I mean, this article goes into the domestic violence of Floyd Mayweather, his transgressions in the past. Um, she wants him to publicly announce that he's to any desire to get treatment. Sure, if he's a public figure, maybe he should publicly announce. But the person who needs to get better, who needs to fight his demons, is the private figure, not the public Floyd Mayweather, the private Floyd Mayweather, the Floyd Mayweather behind the walls of his house is who needs to improve. And neither I nor Sarah know enough about Floyd or know him personally to make judgments whether he has become a better man or not. I'm no one to say this. I don't know him. Um, Again, and my point is not that people shouldn't bring this up. They can. You know, physical shadow disappears when the sun sets, but the shadow of your character is going to remain long after you're even gone. What you have done will remain with you. You reap what you sow. It's just how life works, and that's fine. And these people are allowed to bring that up. Floyd has done things in the past, and they can bring it up. That's not an issue. But why does he have to publicly announce to get treatment, or why are we judging this fight based on that? And let me tell you why. We shouldn't be judging the fight based on that. Well, actually, let's continue to read what she said, um, and then we'll see um, this last part here. Then I'll tell you why we shouldn't be judging only Floyd in this fight and what his transgressions are. So by the fight, and I'm quoting now, by the fight, and you'll not only be wasting your money on a flawed product, but you'll also forever know that you put money in the pocket of a man who has beaten and threatened to kill women. When you're watching him pummel the inexperienced McGregor, do your best not to picture a woman in the ring with him instead. A mother to his children, perhaps being punched repeatedly in the back of the head. The visual you get there, I mean, wow. If you can actually make yourself see Mayweather using his years of training to terrorize women and you can still enjoy the fight, then you'll have to acknowledge that sports mean more to you than your humanity. So if you're buying this fight, you're a bad human being, ladies and gentlemen. If you're supporting this fight, you're a bad human being, is what's being said here. I'm not even going to discuss this, but what I will say is this: boxing, like any other sport is a business. And boxing at times is not always making money. And people are saying boxing's dead sport, which it never will be. It's a gladiator sport. Fighting is a gladiator sport. It's never going to go away. It's existed always. It'll forever exist. The intrigue of seeing two men go at it with their bare hands is too much for it ever to die. But anyways, getting back to the point. But at times, boxing does have fights which are not financially viable. So when fights like Mayweather and McGregor come along, when fights like Mayweather and Pacquiao come along, what does that do? That creates a surplus in budget. Now, who does that surplus in budget when that money, that big chunk of money gets placed in surplus? Who does that really help? Of course, it helps the fighters. So she's right. You are going to put money in Mayweather's pocket and McGregor's pocket. Of course, it helps the networks. But let's think about how many other mouths this type of a fight feeds. Anyone from the truck driver who's driving the production truck to the locations, to the individuals putting up the ring, to the security guard at Top Rank or at Golden Boy or at ESPN offices, even to the custodians who clean the floors of their offices. This fight, a sort of fight of this magnitude, helps those individuals as well. So Miss Spain, yes, Floyd may have had his transgressions. Yes, we might be bad humans who want to watch Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor, but is part of us good for wanting to put food on the table of those individuals behind the scenes? Because if we don't have fights like this, I can see some layoffs. I can see some jobs being lost. So if we're going to make the inference that watching a sporting event makes us bad human beings, then I'm going to make the inference that we are also helping individuals who could be potentially in danger of losing their livelihood because there's not enough money being generated by a lot of these other fights. And fights like Mayweather Pacquiao, or fights like Mayweather McGregor, they do just that. They feed a lot more than just the fighters and just the network heads. Anyways, man, the rant is over. Let's just observe and judge the fight for what it is. It's a sporting event. It doesn't make you a bad human being to want to watch it. It's going to go down as one of the biggest events in history. Definitely of this year, there's a Super Bowl, and then there's this fight. So enjoy the fight. Let me know what you guys think about this. And we'll be back at some other time for another rant, but this rant is now over. I'm out.